You can see she's a little bit hollow in the back, and so she tends to lean back with the shoulders, and she's probably been told to sit up, shoulders back and down, so that exaggerates that leaning back look. She's also quite stiff, and what I particularly am interested in is that she tends to use her middle of the lower back to absorb the movement, and the hip joints are fairly stiff and rigid. So we're at the faster speed with Melanie doing what I call rising trot canter. She stands one and sits one, and this is really good for her hip joint and for her balance. You can see that her hip and her knee are working, they're bending and stretching. Stretch, bend, stretch, bend. And her upper body is very quiet, just quietly sort of staying in one place, but going up and down a little bit, but not a huge amount of backwards, forwards. Trying to keep her back nice and steady so she doesn't hollow. And then if we go down the leg a little bit, see how that knee, as she sits back with her seat, the knees bend forward. Again, bend, stretch, bend, stretch. The lower leg stays perfectly in place, because it doesn't have to move now because the hip and the knee are nice and free. Okay, good. So the lower leg has the smallest bit of hold, just so it stays on the horse, and the hip and the knee take the movement. And you can see there's a nice roll in that thigh. And the knee has a nice little roll to it, has a nice little flex to it. The hip joint has a nice flex to it. So then Melanie can be very, very quiet with her upper body, carrying her head quietly, do less work, let the horse move you. It's not you that pushes the horse. The horse canters, you sit. Good.